Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Be the Change, Change the World, where it's not just a nice idea, but it's an initiative and a lifestyle. Welcome or welcome back, whichever the case may be. I hope everybody's doing well. This is an extra video and I have no idea what it's for, but I'm just feeling led to pull some cards here. I look for it to be, like a daily short. So, that being said, any of the signs that come up within the reading is going to be what's posted, and that is decided upon by major arcana. Please make yourself familiar with my legal disclaimer in the description box below. My email address is down there too, in case you want to get a hold of me. And I'm still doing the mid-May reading giveaway, so there is still time until I do the drawing next Tuesday, which should be like the 14th or something like that, that I'll pull for the random free giveaway. So if anyone's interested, please drop it in the comments. If you're dropping comments whenever a video has premiered, those videos do not stay on the site at all. I don't see them. So if anyone's watching a premiere and they're in the chat, anything that is commented just disappears. So I ask that you not leave your comments in that area because I'll never see them. And I want to see your comments. So I just thought that I would get that out of the way because it's come to my attention a couple different times that they thought that they were chatting with me during a premiere, and no, I wasn't there. and I didn't have any record of anything, so that was frustrating. But let me go ahead and get started with the reading. Holy Spirit, Archangel Michael, what are the most important messages that you want to be expressed today? We got the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is feminine energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, someone who is confident, who is bold, who is attractive, who's full of passion, and who's happy and vibrant, and they're just very attractive. It's an energy, right? It's not about how the Queen of Wands looks. It's like how the Queen of Wands carries herself, right? So, Queen of Wands is here. Interesting. So at the bottom of the deck was the Knight of Swords. There's an incoming message for a Queen of Wands. And this person's very determined here with the Chariot. The Chariot's all about determination, forward movement, could be someone's car. It just could mean cooperation, working in tandem, victory, success, But there's an incoming message here for somebody here, a small collective. What's this message about? This very swift message here. It's in the upright, so it's honest. Well, behind the message is reciprocity. It's the Six of Pentacles. It's a give and take. It's, it's about, the Queen of Wands here, they're generous, right? And so, like, someone's coming in and their intention is to be generous. And not only to be generous, but to have, a reciprocal exchange here. It's the King of Swords here. That is clarifying the Chariot and this Knight of Swords. So there is a masculine energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Most likely in their big three, sun, moon, or rising sign. This is someone who, they have something to say. They do. And they're both the knight and the king. They're both in the upright. And there's like a lot of respect here, because like these, like the Chariot with the King of Swords here and upright, that is a lot of respect. Like this male, doesn't even have to be a male, it could be a masculine woman, but there is this energy of strength and uprightness, like in the sense that they're honest and you can take them at their word. So what's this message about other than generosity and reciprocity? Oh, it's the Eight of Swords in the reverse. This is a story of them setting themselves free. They want a relationship that is reciprocal. They're tired of feeling lonely. They're tired of feeling isolated. And yeah. And the Queen of Cups reversed is the person that made them feel lonely and isolated. This is somebody that they're leaving behind. The Wheel of Fortune. It was fated and destined to occur. And then we have the Tower in reverse. The Queen of Cups in the reverse. Their intention is for continued oppression and resisting change. I just saw the Two of Pentacles reversed. So the Queen of Cups in the reverse is very unstable mentally, emotionally, physically, like all of the above. And now that this masculine energy has freed themselves or is about to free themselves from the isolation that was both self-imposed and forced on them by this Queen of Cups reversed, when the masculine energy decides to free themselves and get away from this Queen of Cups reversed, then the Queen of Cups reversed is going to feel the isolation and the loneliness that this masculine had felt for a very long time just by staying with this Queen of Cups reversed. Queen of Cups reversed is most likely like an ex-wife or an ex-baby mama that, you know, this person's trying to get away from here. This person's trying to keep that from happening. Yeah, they're very angry and unstable with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and very reckless here. And that's the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is someone who is financially unstable, emotionally unstable, very ungrounded, very greedy and materialistic. There could even be elements of, you know, witchcraft, whether it's intended or not, because, you know, even gossip is a form of witchcraft. And gossip is a horrible thing. But people do this activity, as you call it, like all the time. And every once in a while, people will do it around me, and then I'll get in on a little bit. But then I just always back up, because there's a lot of weight that goes on with gossiping, especially whenever you're gossiping about somebody or something. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just making stuff up. And you can get the energy to be so big, it's so oppressive. But anyhow, this feminine energy is in their feelings. They're in a blind fury, blind rage. This is like no holds barred. And this masculine is really needing some help to get away from this person. The Queen of Wands is the only feminine energy in the upright, and it was the first card to come out. Whoever the Queen of Wands is to this masculine, this Queen of Wands is going to be able to help them. This is a helpful person. Okay? This is someone who's going to be able to get you safe, right? Because I can definitely feel like there's elements of like severe instability that goes into being unsafe. And now I understand why I was drawn to do this reading. Because I believe there is a masculine who is in a long-term committed relationship with children, or a marriage that, they've been in this marriage or whatever this is for a long time. And this spouse is off their rocker, and the masculine energy needs help. They need help to separate from. They need help for their safety. They just need help, and they don't have any support here. But they're being honest, this masculine energy. And as long as the masculine energy is honest and upfront about what they want and what they need, there's going to be no problems, and they're going to get that help that they want and need here. Yeah, 10 of Wands. It's a huge burden for this masculine to carry. I'm going to say it. This is like an insane, crazy, psychotic person who is emotionally manipulative, mentally manipulative, and financially exploitive, emotionally exploitative. This is a very abusive individual here. This is the kind of person that like nags and blames everybody else for everything and lies about things to make them look good, but the common denominator is this karmic feminine here. And they're getting to be too much. They're really losing their damn minds, and they're doing too much. The karmic feminine really just needs to woosah, like for certain, because they're insane. And for most of y'all, this Queen of Wands is going to be able to help you get yourself away from this karmic feminine individual that is so dramatic, just does way too much. Please clarify the Queen of Wands. Yeah. You got the Magician. All right, so what came out was the Ace of Wands. So there's something here that this Queen of Wands can do here. This Queen of Wands is the Magician here. This Queen of Wands is going to help you leave with the Eight of Cups. This Queen of Wands is going to be able to help you manifest what it is that you need to be safe and to live a better life. Whoever is dealing with a crazy, out of their mind spouse. So, someone needed to hear that the Queen of Wands can be trusted. Because I think someone might be frozen in horror and terror and being like, this woman that I'm married to is losing her freaking mind. And I really think that this masculine has seen some very scary things in this woman that he married. And the roles and genders can even be reversed. I'm just going off of the gender of the cards. But it can work out anyway, because we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. The masculine is the action. Okay? It's what you do. And feminine energies is receiving. No one can be in one state of giving or receiving. You know, it's it's going back and forth. It's the reciprocation of the flow of the energy within. So a man could very well be in the Queen of Cups reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. It's possible, especially if they're feminine and they sit in their feminine energy, and especially wounded feminine energy. And that's what this is. The Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles, both in reverse, is wounded feminine energy. And you don't have to be a woman to be in wounded feminine energy. You just need to have a dude with mommy issues for them to be in their wounded feminine energy. But it could be universal. Like, wounded feminine energy is universal. And it just doesn't have to be. It can be anybody that can be in those karmic cycles of how you are with yourself and how you are with others. But the opportunity is here. The time is now. Go seek out this person that you're looking for. You can trust them. Stop questioning them. Don't keep yourself back out of fear. Because if you do, you're giving the consent for more torture. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. You want something different, you're going to have to do something. Things just don't magically happen all by themselves. Things just kind of get more intense and get worse and worse until you finally face it. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. And the truth is, this woman that this man had spent so much time and energy on, they're losing their minds. They're going insane. They're losing their power and their control over this masculine. And they could be displaying some really scary behavior. Possibly even dangerous, illegal behavior. And they're doing too much because they're resisting the change. They don't want the ending of this marriage. They want to keep it going. At all costs. No matter what. But someone else wants their freedom. Someone else wants to be appreciated. And someone else wants to be given back to. They don't want to always be the giver all the time. Because they feel used. They're tired of feeling used. They're tired of feeling small. They're tired of feeling isolated. This masculine energy it really wants to break free. Well, your sign is here. There's nothing holding you back but you. So admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. There's a new direction that you want to go into. There's someone here that can help you. You know who this person is. You need to go seek them out. This person can help you. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance. And accept that this marriage and this karmic feminine is a burden. And that you can be lovingly honest with yourself and others. And you're going to have to, whoever this masculine energy is, they're going to have to say, they're going to have to stand up to this karmic feminine. And they're just going to have to say, you're doing too much. This is too much for me. This change resistance isn't working. This is all conflict. This is nothing but a fight, and the masculine's exhausted. And then here we got this ex, this karmic feminine in the background that they had kids in a family with. They're losing their mind. But that's all a distraction. It's all meant to be an intimidation factor. Is the masculine gonna get scared and hide and shrink and say nothing like they always have before? Or are they gonna break free? Are they gonna get help? Are they gonna finally manifest moving out and have it actually happen instead of just daydreaming about it and just thinking about it and then not taking any inspired action to make it happen? So if you're in your head daydreaming and manifesting this beautiful life and you're living a miserable life and you refuse to leave the miserable life, continuing to dream of an alternative life, that's not conducive to anybody's health, happiness, or well-being. That's just a state of delusion to get through abusive stuff. It's conditioning. It's no life for anyone to live. So if there's anyone that's in a situation like this or knows someone that's in a situation like this, that person that is trying to get out of a situation like this, they need support because they don't have support. Everybody that's in their camp is influenced by this karmic feminine. By this ex, this baby mama, this ex-wife, whatever this is. Everyone that this masculine knows is influenced by this karmic feminine. And everyone around this masculine has done nothing but tell him to stay and work this out and just deal with it. But that's so insidious. If someone is actually being abused and manipulated and exploited for tangible things, that is insidious. And then to like force and have the expectation be, oh, well, you had children with her. You're going to have to marry her. You're going to have to stay with her. It's cheaper to keep her, or blah, blah, blah. Like, this is like a vindictive person, don't get me wrong. And they're going to go for the throat. I'm keeping it real. They're going to go for the throat, maybe even physically. But especially in the pocketbook and especially in the emotional department. Because this karmic feminine is going to use the children against the masculine at every turn. You dangle, like, use them as dangling carrots and promote fear. You stay or else. That is no life for anyone to live. So, that's what I have for y'all. I just knew that if I was being guided to do this reading, it had to be important. And I see that it is. Because this could ultimately, potentially be a very dangerous situation. And someone needed to hear a word. They needed to hear that the person that they have in mind that could maybe help them, that is somebody that they can reach out to and get that help. Because this is someone who has been abused and exploited for so long that they don't know who to trust. And they know right now, they didn't know this the whole entire time, but they know now that this karmic feminine that they've shared their life with, they know now that they are someone that they definitely can't trust. And now it's like, what is the best way of getting away from a potentially dangerous individual like this? Well, you can approach someone who has been through a similar situation so that they can help you and support you through it. And in most cases, this Queen of Wands, this is someone that this masculine knows. I mean, maybe not well, but they know of them enough. But maybe they don't know a whole lot about them. But I think in most cases, this Queen of Wands, they've already been through what this masculine's experiencing, and they can definitely be a viable resource to help this masculine obtain their freedom, because this karmic feminine is an absolute slave driver, using obligation and commitments in such manipulative and hostile ways. So someone needed help. Someone needed to know that they could be trusted, or they would be willing to help. Yes, all of the above. And now you just need to get a hold of this person. King of Swords. You need to speak the truth straight from the heart. No BS. You have to say what you need. This Queen of Wands can make it happen, but you have to say what you need. What you need help and support with, what you're overwhelmed with, what is happening that you're feeling limited in doing something. This is the kind of support that you can receive. So that is it. That was longer than I expected it to be. But you can do this. You can start a brand new life. You don't have to be mistreated, abused, and exploited and taken advantage of every single day of your life. You don't have to live that way anymore. It just requires some adjustments. You have to physically remove yourself from this person. You have to get them out of your life and your energy. You have to restrict this karmic feminine's access to you by your communications. But this is something that this masculine's been kind of wanting to do for a little while. He's been unsure, and so he's been unsure. He hasn't done anything. But not making a choice is a choice. It's a choice to accept and to continue. And that's exactly what happened. And now it's to a point here where it's absolutely unbearable for this masculine. And all they're yearning for is reciprocity and freedom. They want to get rid of the loneliness feeling. They want to not be isolated anymore. They don't want to be sad and miserable anymore because of the maltreatment that they've experienced. And I hate to say it, but if this masculine doesn't get the support that they need from this person that they, who they want to reach out to for that support, if they don't get the support, the goal of leaving the karmic feminine behind, it will not work. This masculine needs help. They can't do this alone. They need someone else's, guidance and stability through the whole process, because whenever you're walking away from a long-term marriage or just something that you for the longest time you've defined your life by, and all of that is just it doesn't exist anymore. And that really it's like a big crisis to the identity, to the person, to the health. And whenever someone breaks down emotionally from all of this mistreatment. Like, they're going to need someone to prop them up. They're going to need someone to, someone to let them stay. They could sleep there temporarily. Like, you could make other plans with this, like whatever. But, like, the thing is like, this other person can really help to ground you, to come up with a grounded plan, how, like, a good plan of action of how to deal with this in the safest way for the highest good and respect of all. There's a lot that this other person can help with, but if the masculine doesn't reach out for this support, I really don't think that their chances of success is going to be successful, because they'll ultimately end up getting sucked back in, either by the karmic feminine herself, or she'll manipulate someone close to them to manipulate the masculine. If the masculine doesn't have anybody supporting them on their side, backing them up, they're going to get sucked right back in. And that's not fair. So, if you're the masculine and you're watching this, get the support that you need and do this thing. Because you don't want to be the one that leaves and comes back. Because when you leave and come back, everything's different and nothing's ever the same. And everything's worse. This is from experience. So, if the masculine's watching, you decide to leave, that's it. That's the final decision. But you're going to have to get someone to help you. Help you emotionally, physically, financially. Help you with a plan. Help you be able to relax. To be at peace. And that is exactly what this masculine longs for. They don't know any of those things because this karmic feminine is absolutely chaotic, emotionally vindictive. They always have a threat. But I think this is the kind of person that would double down on threats too. They might not carry out every single threat, but that one time they're going to carry out a really big threat, and it's going to be bad. This karmic feminine has poor impulse control. Very angry, abusive, spiteful, vindictive, rageful. All hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. And his karmic feminine definitely embodies that. But anyhow, I could ramble on, but that's what I have. And I really hope that this helps whoever it needs to help. Because I am feeling that urgency too. And that is the urgency to admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Because I think that whoever is hearing this message has lived a false, fake life. They wore a mask throughout their entire life. They put on this facade that everything was awesome and great and perfect and happy, and they had the picture-perfect family life and this and that. But there was a lot of secrets. There was a lot of toxic behaviors behind the scenes. There's a lot of exploitation behind the scenes. Control, oppression, demands, expectations. It's too much. It's too much. This is the kind of person who has lived their whole life being afraid of what other people think at their expense. So they're living a miserable life, pretending that it's everything that they've ever wanted. And all the while, this masculine's dying a little bit every day on the inside, longing for freedom, feeling like a slave. There's something to that. And I know what that feels like too. And I was able to overcome it all, for the most part. By the grace of God. And frantic prayers were aplenty. And there were many times where I cried myself to sleep because I didn't have anyone to help me. They didn't. No one did. I had to get to a place where I had to do it myself. My life depended on it because my health was terrible. Those with eyes to see and ears to hear shall hear this message. If you want to be free, set yourself free. Don't be like, I know why the caged bird sings. What that means is, don't come to accept the gilded cage that you have allowed yourself to be in and participate in a dynamic that feels like an invisible cage. Don't be that bird that's trapped inside this cage. And all they can muster is a song. How about you get rid of the fucking cage? Because people are not supposed to be prisoners. We're not supposed to be prisoners in our relationships. We're not supposed to be prisoners in our homes. We're not supposed to be prisoners. Not for anyone, not for anything. Slavery was never eradicated. After the civil rights, all rights were restored or just instated for the blacks. And then for the longest time, after the blacks got the rights from the civil rights movement, it took a little bit of while for it to calm down, but in general, society's racism went from overt to covert. Now people's racism is much more hidden. People aren't denying a black person of a job just because they're black. They're looking for other reasons to keep them out of the workforce if there's something about them that they don't like. Slavery and racism has nothing to do with being white, black, or whatever. Because you can be any race and be enslaved. You can be enslaved by basically anyone in your life. And if you've been conditioned to that normal, then you're not even going to know the conditions of, of your mistreatment, because it's going to be all you know. It's a learned environment, learned behaviors. There's adaptability behaviors that go along with that. But the person that's watching me that doesn't feel free, anybody can be enslaved by anybody. You can be enslaved by your parents, by your spouses, by your children, by your employers, by your friends, family members. And it's hidden. People are constantly conditioning their children to be of service, to take orders, for you to tell them to do something, and then you say jump, and they say how high. People weren't meant to be treated that way. This is oppression. No slave has been freed without their active will to get them out of it. It doesn't go away, even when you remove yourself from it. You just kind of learn a new normal. And it's weird. But it's better. It's full of peace. It's full of autonomy. And I'm talking about a masculine who feels demasculated. And they have no more autonomy. And they want that back. Because that's a God-given right. Everyone has the right to autonomy. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the only thing that this masculine's been giving was the right to life. The right to liberty was taken through duty and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's no happiness here. There's no liberty here. But there's pursuit. Pursuit for a brand new life. Which is what someone's going to have to do. Admit the truth to yourself. And then act accordingly. Thank y'all for supporting my channel in all the ways that y'all do. I appreciate y'all so very much. I know this was a heavy reading. It was heavy for me too. So I guess I'm going to put a trigger warning on this because this was a lot. But somebody needed to hear this. Anyhow, please comment below. I want to hear from y'all. Thank y'all for everything, and I'll talk to y'all soon.